I'm standing here at 310 Hobson, which is the duplex behind me, which we just finished renovating, and we just finished furnishing both units to turn into an Airbnb, which is actually launching today. Now, I purchased this property for $200,000, and I used myinvestorloan.com to get the funding in place to be able to purchase it, plus do the renovations. And now that we've gotten the property finished, let's go ahead and take a look inside and see what it looks like. Now, this property, we were expecting to spend about 6 months from purchase to renovating to furnishing to then listing on Airbnb. But we did have some challenges on this property that caused it to take 12 months to get this one done. We were expecting to take only about 6 months because that was about the time that our crew told us that it would take to get this property renovated and, all ready to go for Airbnb. So what really happened was we had an issue with the city. They red tagged us, which basically they put a note on the door saying, stop the work, you can't do any work here. We need to get some permits from you. We need to make sure that this work is being done up to code. We go back and forth with the city for a few months, which obviously added multiple months onto it, which led to almost 6 months of delayed time. We got all of the permits completed, which then allowed us to get the project done. But there was a lot of little things they had us do to make sure that it was up to their standard. One of the things that the city had us do was the window behind me was significantly smaller. For whatever reason, they said this window needs to be bigger. Cool, we did it, we made it bigger, and amazing. The living room looks amazing, right? Like just cute little space for 1 or 2 people to be in. But here was the problem that the city gave us. They said, hey, instead of having the hot water heater outside like most normal houses or in the garage or anywhere besides the freaking living room, they said water heater in the living room. So obviously this is atrocious to look at. So thankfully we have Heidi, a really talented with design Airbnb manager. And so she had the idea, because I was honestly freaking out. I was like, how are we gonna have this really cute place and have this nasty, atrocious looking thing on the wall in the living room? So she kind of created this setup to, be able to put this and hang it over that so you can't see it, and it just, cute picture on the wall that makes it more aesthetic. There's a third thing that really just upsets me about this property. It really pisses me off, but it didn't delay us and we moved forward. But the floor in the hallway is sloped. Like literally, if I had a golf ball, you'd be able to see it. If you look at the washer and dryer, it's at a slant. And this is just a little thing, but the devil's in the details. And so this was something that was missed by our property manager. They didn't even pay attention to it. I came over to the property after they had already installed the kitchen. They had already put the cabinets into the bathroom, and there was no going back. We would have had to taken out the cabinets out of the kitchen. It would have been a whole mess. So we decided to leave it. It does make me very upset, but that's just another thing to keep in mind when you're hiring a project manager, is that all stages of the project, when all the flooring's done, they should be walking the property. If you're getting flooring installed, you should be walking the property to make sure they leveled it the proper way so you don't end up with a situation like this. Now, I want to give you just a quick tip whenever you're going to be considering doing Airbnb. Obviously, as you see, this is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit, but it's going to be really profitable. And so whenever you're going to be looking at a property to do Airbnb with, typically the criteria I'm always looking for is a property that's going to be able to generate net in our pocket at least $2,000 to $2,500 a month. Why that amount of money? Well, the reason is it's a lot more work than a long-term rental. If you're gonna do a long-term rental, you sign a lease with a tenant, they move in, and then they're typically there without having to deal with much with them for the remainder of their lease. But with a Airbnb, you're having constant turnover. People are coming in, you're having to clean it, you're having to make sure quality control is great for the guests. And so for us, with that extra work, we're looking to definitely make an extra profit on the deal. So whenever you're going to be considering doing Airbnb, especially on these smaller units, $2,000 to $2,500 a month is what you want to be looking for. Obviously, if you're doing a house that's like a 3, 4, 5 bedroom, like bigger property with nice amenities, you want to make more than that. But generally, especially if you're getting started, starting smaller with units like this are going to be a great fit for you to get the ball rolling with your Airbnb. Now that it's all said and done, with this unit, it's basically a model match is the unit right next door. And so what we're expecting to make on this is gross income of about $70,000 a year between these two units. They're really small, they're really nice, they're really cute, but that's what we're expecting to be able to make on them with the occupancy percentage and the average nightly rate that we're expecting to be getting on these. And so I'll make sure to do future videos sharing with you the case study of how this property actually performs. But in the meantime, make sure to check out the video here of the property that's next door, doing the deal breakdown of how we're turning that one into a long-term rental.